Okay, so this actually title has changed from what you have there in your paper because we've been reworking. We're really trying to get some ideas on best how to position this. So we're looking at unearthing sustainable value hidden in the firm, and what the research is we've really been looking at. Is there a pointer here?
Yes, the top button.
Top button. There we go. Oops, and so I went. Okay. What we're really looking at here is just, we're looking for what firms are doing that makes them successful with their innovation, their sustainable innovation strategies. And we've gone out and we've done, there's a lot of research has been done on why firms will take a sustainability strategy and what are the outcomes of the firms that are doing that. And MIT is doing a huge study on firms that are successful and what the outcomes are to their bottom line, and so that they say there are advantages to it. We weren't interested in that. What we were really interested in is this black box here. What's happening in this black box when it comes to sustainable innovations? How are they being successful in their innovation strategy when it comes to sustainable innovations? So that's what our main focus is. Lots of studies have been done here. Why firms do it? Sometimes it's bottom line. Sometimes it's an interest in the environment. Sometimes it's just ends up being that's what the firm is interested in from a top management point of view. And then the added value, that's the MIT study. So we went into the black box and we conducted a multiple case study with 11 multinational companies. We tried to get at least 2 people within each company that had some type of role within sustainability in their title. And it ended up being, my colleagues are from the UK, Canada, and Ireland. So those are the companies that we've talked to. And somebody must have gone to the Netherlands, and I'm not sure which one of my colleagues did that, but so we have one of a company from the Netherlands. And they all had ongoing initiatives related to sustainability. And we looked at a variety of different firms because we wanted to get a good sample of different approaches that companies were taking. So this is what we found. What we found is that there is something that we have identified that we call affordances. And affordances is coming out of it's the design literature, but also from biology. And the idea behind an affordance is that things are put into place in order that you use them in a certain way. So, for example, a chair affords sitting because of the way it's designed with a flat bottom. And the arms are there for a reason for us to rest. So it's been designed that way. Within companies, they have a set of essentially resources. They're actually called action capabilities. They have resources that can be acted upon, and that there are some companies that act upon these. But you can't act upon them unless you have effectivities. And so affordances and effectivities come together. You may have a chair, but that chair doesn't mean anything until somebody comes up. If it's a baby has a different capability of using this chair. So the effectivities we found on how they were using the affordances already in the firm made a difference in whether they were successful in their sustainability strategies. So we've identified these affordances and effectivities. And what we found is that the companies that are not successful, and so this is what we really wanted to get into. We looked at a variety of different companies and we've ranked them on their success using a classification that I have at the end. If I had time, then we'll take a look at it. But what they do is they fail to use the affordances, and in talking to these companies, so all of these number of interviews that we have, at least there's like 25 of them, these are the terms that kept coming up over and over again for us. There's an entrepreneurial culture and risk is okay in the company. They have resources that they're throwing there. There's a learning culture within the organization, there's knowledge management, and there's key partnerships. So those were things we were finding with successful firms. So then we went to go look at the unsuccessful firms, and they don't have this. They don't have that kind of entrepreneurial culture about them. This electronics company is a success story, and we're going to start this project. Who wants to participate? That's all they do. That's what they say, and they go in and they just start doing. So there really isn't all this big planning. There isn't somebody that they hire from outside to bring in a sustainability manager. They don't require it to come from the top, from the top management to say this is what we're going to do. Somebody within the organization says that this is a good idea, let's just do it. And this actually is a very large electronics company that we all know in the local area. That's how they do it. This consulting company, this was also very interesting, and so this is part of that entrepreneurial spirit. One of their managers at this consulting company said, I want to do more with sustainability. I don't know what it is. And he took a leave of absence and went to Costa Rica for 2 years. He came back and said, I know what I want to do now. This is what we want to do, and let's do it. And so top management said, okay, go ahead. And now this company has, wasn't just about the money we made, it was about the noise we made in the marketplace. That's why they were doing it. And they now have a division that is focused on sustainability and helping companies to go and bring sustainability into their organization. Again, it was just somebody who was interested in it, that said, let's do it, and they got the support from above. They got the support from through strategic resources. The learning culture was there, and so things were beginning to happen. And one thing that we kept finding is data. They collect a lot of data, which is why they have all companies have huge sustainability reports. And mainly it's just data. What these companies do, though, is they actually make use of the data that they're collecting, and they put it into these knowledge management systems so that it infiltrates around the company. And that's what they do different. And they bring in partners when they need them. We don't have the ability to do this, we don't have the ability to do that, let's bring them in. The companies that aren't succeeding don't do that. They're not saying, go do it and let's find the people that can help us to make it happen. So the effectivities that we found that make it happen is top management, support, boundary spanners are really important, and that's the electronics company that what we found is she was a project manager and then just decided, I want to do sustainability, but she knew her way around the organization, which is why she can go out and say, hey, I'm doing this, who wants to do it with me? The company gives her resources, though, to do that. And so she goes in, she finds an initiative, she puts it into place, and then she walks away. She says, then once they have ownership of it, I walk away. But the company gives her the resources to do that. And so then there's often a product champion that have sustainability agenda in mind. So in this case, here's support from the top management. The CEO went to a convention, saw what he liked, brought it, said, let's do something, and gave people the ability to do it. And then he said, here's another one. This is, I see my role as coordinating all kinds of different things because there are all these different departments. So that's the boundary spanner. So that's my time, but let me just finish it up here. As I said, we have looked at different types and we've classified our firms, the 11 firms that we've talked to, in the different degrees that we're finding. And so our type 1, 2, and 3 companies are very different than our 4, 5, and 6 companies. And so this is giving us a really good sense of what works. And I think the thing, kind of our takeaway from us, for us was that firms don't have a strategy necessarily in place, and successful firms do not have to have a sustainability strategy. They just have to have an entrepreneurial culture that says, we're going to do this, and they go out and do it. And with the resources behind them, they can make it happen. So that's it. Make use of the affordances and effectivities within the existing firm. And that's why we call it unearthing the hidden value that's already in the company. It's there. Companies just have to figure out how to start putting that lever into place and making it happen. That's it.
Thank you.